a request video by a brother of mine, and I do mean brother. We literally were pretty much brought up side by side together through our younger years. So when I say that I'm doing a request video for my brother, I mean this guy was my first brother. So, you know, maybe that helps give you an understanding of I'm going to do my utmost to answer his question fully, and in so doing maybe it'll help you guys too. So here, the question was, how would I defend myself if I was at the urinal, and I'm assuming I'm going about my business. Okay, so I envision the question as I'm literally standing at the urinal, I got my junk in my hand, and I'm going. Okay? Alright. Now, there's a few things that you gotta understand. Okay. This is not going to be a technique-oriented video. Okay? The reason for this is that you have to understand there's two ways of learning the martial arts or self-defense. There is the technique method, where basically a student starts out in a dojo and they learn a whole crap load of techniques, and only after about 5 to 10 years do they actually start formulating things actually start beginning to make sense. And only by doing all these techniques for thousands and thousands of times do they start to actually understand the principles underlying them. Okay, that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is teaching the principles from get-go, and then learning the techniques that fill that principle at the time. Why am I saying this? Okay, understand that techniques are situational. Okay? My opponent is standing such and such way. He is throwing punch such and such way. That's when I would apply a technique. Okay? A principle, on the other hand, is universal. Okay? A good way of understanding this is if my opponent pushes my shoulder, I go with it, and if I hold his hand as I go with it, now I'm off balancing him. This is a principle, okay? This is a very simple one, okay? And there's all kinds of different principles, just as there are different laws of motion and physics and all that stuff. And those play a part, okay? There is no difference. They all play a part of the overlying principle. The reason why I'm saying this is so that you understand that each of us walking around as humans from society and other things like that, we have things built into our mind that are like mental blocks. They're like walls, barriers, and we are taught to not go beyond them or to bust through those societal norms in any situation, even in situations where we have to defend ourselves. Here's the point. If I'm at the urinal and I'm doing my business, there's only two questions. Actually, there's only one question that should come into my mind, and even that is a very quick answer. And it's this. Sorry to be rude or lewd, but do I put my junk away or do I not? That's all it comes down to. Because everything else is I'm going to defend myself as I normally would. Okay? The reason why people have a hard time understanding that, and they have a hard time getting over that mental block, is why they find themselves in a compromised position when they're in the bathroom. Because people believe that in a bathroom or in a urinal situation that no one's going to attack them, so they're safe, which is actually far from the truth. And in fact, If you look at most military combatives manuals, they'll tell you when it comes to sentry elimination, you actually follow the sentry to the bathroom, and when he's distracted, that's when you eliminate the sentry. That's one tactic. Okay, so here's the deal. That leads us into the psychology of the thing. The psychology is this. There's only one of two ways, there's only one of two reasons why a guy is going to attack me in the bathroom. One, he is absolutely 100% knows that he is inferior to me physically, and that the only way that he can get the upper hand is if he does some sneaky, underhanded, shady crap like that. Okay? So that's one thing. Now, that leads us to the next thing, and it's this. How did he target me? Okay? Most likely he isn't targeting me for assassination. He's not after me, the man, personally. He's most likely after my wallet or something like that. Maybe I was at the bar and I was flashing too much money. Maybe I was doing something stupid. Hey, maybe I insulted the guy and didn't mean to. For whatever reason, he felt that he was physically inferior, so he has to wait till I go to the bathroom so that I'm in a compromised position, and then he's going to attack me. Okay? Okay. As soon as he attacks me, we'll just start with this idea. As soon as he attacks me, I need to be reacting. I do not care what type of a mess I find myself in, literally. I do not care what kind of a mess I turn myself into. I don't care what happens to the floor. I don't care what happens to my clothing. I don't care what happens to the walls. Okay? I care about eliminating the threat. Okay? That's what you must do. Because he is coming at you as hard as he can. And he's given himself all the advantages that he can to ensure that he's going to win this fight. Okay? Remember what I told you, one of the golden rules of fighting? There's a winner and a loser, and you do whatever it takes to be in the winner category. This is what I mean. Okay? If he's attacking you, I don't care if I'm peeing on it. I really don't. Okay? More to the point. Let's look at the layout of a standard bathroom. Okay? So you've got urinals side by side, and then typically you have a stall. Okay? Let's say I'm in the urinal closest to the stall, right? So I've got that stall wall there, alright? And let's say, for example, stall walls here, urinals here, just behind me to my right is the entrance, and just on the left hand side is the sink. Okay? Standard bathroom layout. If someone's going to attack me, they're going to come from behind. Okay? This is where I need to keep my wide angle vision, and I need to have awareness. Okay? This is where awareness comes into play. I sense something coming on, I sense something not right, so I'm going to look over my shoulder just a bit. Okay? I'm going to use my peripheral vision. I'm not going to look directly at the threat because I'm doing what I'm doing, right? So I sense something coming. Oh, uh-oh, he's coming at me. Let's say he's rushing at me. Okay, first thing I have to do, I have to turn to move to defend myself against the threat. Okay, now we're going to rotate the whole bathroom so that you can see what I'm doing with my hands. Okay, so where the urinal was here, now it's here. Okay, threat is coming from over here. Alright, so as I turn, I'm going to go here. Why am I doing this? Okay, I'm trying to protect my center of body, my center line, as much as possible by bringing my arms in. Also, I'm preparing a block and a counter strike should I need them. Okay, but not only that, if he's rushing at me, by me bringing my arms this way and rotating, I'm going to put him off balance. Okay, and I'm going to direct him away from my center of gravity. It's a displacement move. So I'm using the principle of displacement, okay? I've talked about displacement before. You know, if you want more in-depth on that particular principle, just let me know. But basically what I'm doing is, as soon as I sense something, I'm already reacting. And that's what we need to be doing, okay? I'm not worried about anything else, okay? I could be doing this while fluids are being released. I don't care, okay? I don't care if I look like I wet myself because I did, okay? I don't care. I'm defending myself against the threat, okay? I can change the pair of pants, okay? I may not be able to deal with that threat if I don't react to it, okay? I may not go home. Much rather change the pair of pants. Just saying. Alright, so let's look at the other things. Another principle that we could be using in this situation is I could be using my environment to my advantage, okay? Bear with me. Most bathrooms have a hard tile floor, okay? So if I were to throw my opponent forcefully, let's say with a Sotomakokomi or something like that, I would create more damage, thereby using the hard tile floor against my opponent. Therefore, I'm hitting my opponent literally with the flow, okay? Something else is the urinals themselves, okay? They're big chunks of stone, essentially, right? Throw my opponent into those. Now we have opponent hitting stone, okay? That stall door, or that stall wall. Now granted, it's going to give a little bit, of course, because it's not made like a solid steel wall, but on the other hand, it's not going to feel pleasant, okay? Another thing is that most bathrooms have a very solid sink, okay? So if for some reason I was able to grab the back of the guy's head and slam his head into the sink, there we have another principle. See how each one of these techniques and each one of these tactics is using the principle of using your environment to your advantage, okay? So any of these things can be used, okay? Alright, so let's get beyond that little nugget of your mind. The other reason why someone is coming after you in a bathroom is because they are actually intending on assassinating you. Let's say you are a sentry. They are intent on eliminating the sentry. Let's say. That's one method. Another method is, let's say not to say that it happens all the time to us common folk, but sometimes it does. And let's say they were sent to hurt you or kill you, okay? And then they just so happen to see you go into the bathroom, and then they decide to do their dirty business there because, hey, I'm going to use the psychological effect to my advantage plus the other. So that's the other way of thinking about it. Either way, you're still going to react the same way, okay? So that's pretty much the best thing that that's the most important thing, is to break that box that's inside your head that says, oh, I can't do anything because I've got my junk in my hand. Screw it. Let the junk go. Let it flop. If that's what if you actually have to defend yourself and your life, I don't care if I give the whole bathroom a show. I really don't care. There's only supposed to be guys in that place anyway, so, you know, whatever. And even if I have to give the entire world a show, if I have to defend my life to do it, I'm going to do it. Because I may not have the time to put my junk away. And that's what we're after. Okay? So, once again, like I said, techniques are situational, principles are universal. And that's why I try to teach as many principles as I can. So, that's what I got, guys. So that's pretty much the best way. like I said, it's not a technique. It's not a very big technique-oriented video. But on the other hand, all the techniques that apply in every video that I've shown up to this point, they all apply there just as easily. It's just I've got parts showing. That's the only difference. So I thank you guys for your time. Oh, something else. Let's go ahead before I cut you guys out on this one. Let's say I'm sitting on the stool. Okay. So if I'm sitting down on the stool, most likely I've got my pants around my ankles, okay? And they're coming in through that stall door, okay? Now there's only one way for them to come at me, and that's straight ahead, okay? I'm not going to be able to move or maneuver very well with my pants around my ankles. It's going to take me time to pull my pants up, okay? But they're coming in, okay? And they're coming towards me, alright? You would think that this would be a bad situation, and indeed it is. But there is a side benefit that we have, and there's an advantage that the guy on the stool has that the other guy doesn't realize. And that is the whole key. Because I'm sitting on the stool, I have my legs are already like a spring. They're already coiled. Okay? Now granted, I was doing one movement with my body, and now I'm going to be doing another one, but whatever. Because I have my legs coiled here, as he's coming towards that door, all I have to do now is basically do a squat thrust, and I can launch myself at my opponent, okay? Now maybe I knock him down against the floor, maybe I knock him down against the wall. Either way, he's going down, okay? Either way, I'm spearing him like Brock Lesnar, okay? Or Goldberg, if you remember the old wrestling days, alright? I'm just going to straight up spear him like that, and he's going to go down, because there is no way for him to defend himself against it. Now, granted, is there a chance that I could get stabbed from it if he's coming at me with a knife? Yeah, that's possible. On the other hand, he's going to hit the ground. And guess what? When he hits the ground, I'm going to be on top. Now, maybe I won't be able to move very well because of the legs. Maybe that'll immobilize me from the waist down. But I can still pummel if that's what I gotta do. So, you know, at least then I have a fighting chance. And that's what we're after here. So, that's my 2 cents on how to deal with this. The main thing is to break that societal thing, okay? And to know when to break it, okay? When you are being attacked, all societal rules are gone. Understand that when you are being attacked and you are in a self-defense situation, it's a battlefield. You do what you have to do to neutralize the threat, and then you move on. And that's how you do it. Okay? We're not playing here. Because if you play, you get yourself hurt, or you can get yourself dead. And that's what it's about. Because that guy that's coming after you in the bathroom, he's serious. Either way you cut it, either way you slice it, he's serious. And if he's that serious to come after you in the bathroom, and he's that skeezy, he's not trying to play slapbox with you. He's gonna try to hurt you. And he's gonna try to hurt you bad. So you better handle him. And you better handle him quick. Alright? So that's the way it is. So anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate your comments, I appreciate your views, I appreciate your time. Defend your homes wisely.